Hi everyone. I Today I just wanted to quickly share a tool that I use every day when I'm teaching my lessons. If Do you ever finish that online ESL lesson think, "Okay, now I still have to write the parent feedback?" Because honestly, that used to be one of the parts of teaching that took way more mental energy and time than I wanted it to. And so today in this video, I'm going to show you how I use Letterly to transcribe my lessons and then how I use a custom prompt to turn that transcript into parent-ready feedback in seconds. So, what if writing parent feedback from scratch after every lesson instead became really instant? And some of you may already do this. You might take your Zoom transcript, put it into Chat GPT, and then get it to write your parent feedback. Some of you might use some of your information built into other tools. For me, I teach on a lot of different platforms, and so I really wanted something that I could use regardless of the platforms. And so I'm not sharing this because teachers need more tech. I'm sharing it because this is one of those tiny workflow changes that can save time after every single class. So I'm Megan from Florentis Learning. I create ready to teach ESL curriculum and tools for online teachers who want structured, engaging lessons without spending hours prepping and doing admin. If you teach online ESL and want practical tips for lessons, curriculum, parent communication, and teacher workflows, make sure you click subscribe down below. So, parent feedback is important and it helps to show that we are professional. Parents also want to know what happened in the lesson, but after back to back lessons, writing feedback can become repetitive and time consuming. And generic feedback is just faster, but specific feedback helps to build trust. And within the Teacher Hub, which is a management tool for your tutoring business available through Florentis Learning, we provide generic feedback for a lot of our lessons so that you've got a starting point and it's ready to use. And we've already inserted your student name and those types of things. And so you can use that and you can tweak it. But you also may not always be using our Florentis lessons, and you may have other tools that you use and you just want something a little more custom. So the goal really is not to replace the teacher's judgment. The goal really is just to make it faster to communicate what already happened in that lesson. So this is my workflow. I teach the lesson and I use Letterly to transcribe the lesson. Then I literally click a button, and I'm going to show you in a second, for my custom prompt right in Letterly, which I've set up for my teacher workflow, and it generates parent-ready feedback really in seconds. And then I'll read through it. I make sure that I'm okay with it. Sometimes I change the next steps. One of the things that I found is really cool about it is that if I'm really clear about what my homework is, for instance, for homework, please complete page 65 and 67 and write sentences with your new vocabulary words. Letterly captures that in my next steps and in my homework tasks based on my custom prompt. And if you want that prompt, by all means, just drop a note in the comments and I will be happy to share it with you. The one thing also that's super timely is that this is right now available as a lifetime deal. And so it's about $89. You've got lifetime access to it. I've been using it for, I think, over a year now and really, really enjoyed it. One of the things about it is if you wear headphones, however, it won't necessarily capture all of your students talking. And so when I'm teaching in my home office and I have my door closed. And so it's great. I only capture myself and my student, and I don't actually wear headphones. So let's just take a look right now at what this looks like. So I'm just going to share my screen. So this is Letterly. And you will see that I have a couple here that I've actually left from this morning, just specifically for this. And so let's just open this one, for instance. And I'm just going to go teacher class feedback. And while I do that, I'm actually going to go to the other one and go teacher class feedback. So you'll see it's just transcribing. When I come back here, it's done. It's that fast. And if you look at this, this is pretty good. And so my prompt that I have set up is, and in order to get your teacher class feedback down here, you do need to actually set up a custom prompt. So under the rewrite option, they have all, not teacher class feedback or learning plan, but they have all of these options. So it's super helpful if you're listening to a meeting, listening to a recording, anything you want to capture other things, you can just use this. But the thing that's really genius about this really is that it's got this ability to create your own custom prompt. And it is awesome. You just go to this new and you can create from scratch, or you can choose from some of the ones they already have there. And that's how I did it. So if we just look at my prompt, I just clicked it again. Just a sec. I'm going to go, let's go into actually, no, I don't want to merge them. Let's go in here. So this was another lesson. This was one of the lessons from the traveling by air unit in Florentis Learning. And you'll notice if we practiced the vocabulary, it picked up on what the vocabulary words were, talked about the fact that she really struggled with identification and departure. And so it picked up that those were words that I had been practicing with her. Some of the things we did, role playing, and the enthusiasm, she likes the game, that sort of thing. So you can certainly edit this. This actually is pretty good. And when I come down here to my homework tips, you'll see I've got review vocabulary, practice full sentence, and role play. I'm probably going to take out the practice full sentences, and I'm just going to leave it as role play, checking in at the airport with a family member, and then to keep encouraging Amelia. So this literally is ready to go. And this button right here at the bottom, I can just copy it, copies it. I can go in and I can just paste it, and I'm done. Now, I did want to show you that rewrite feature. So when I come in here, I'm just going to right click on this, and I'm just going to look at customize. And here is, I think I can make, here is sort of a variety of things that you can do. So you can have it as an email, you can have it as formal. So there's all sorts of things already in here, grocery lists, meal planners. So you certainly can just talk to it and use it for other things. It has a brand new feature, which is really nice. And on mine, and then it will just, whatever you're saying, it actually will put right where you are. So if you prefer to just do dictation, but you're using a tool where you don't have a text to speech option, you can just do that too. So another way that it's super fast and easy if you don't want to use the transcript. But we have all sorts of options here, and you can use the ones that are there, but certainly by creating your own custom prompt, you really get what you want. So I'm not looking for this perfect transcript. I'm looking for enough detail to remind me what the student said, what we practiced, and what support they needed. And certainly if you want the transcript, you can use the little arrow and go back. And here is literally the transcript of our conversation. It's pretty good, right? We had a conversation about the Wi-Fi being a problem on her end. We closed the lesson, we started again. Like it is pretty accurate. And so you certainly, if you wanted to go and find something specific, you could scroll through your transcript. I'm not going to do that. It's a 25-minute lesson or 30-minute lesson, and I just don't have time for that. And then we have our feedback. And if you just come back here, I'll just come back here. You'll notice I have been using this for a very, very long time. I use it for lots and lots of lessons, and it is great. You also can give tags to your lessons. I used to do this when I had fewer students, which meant I could then just click the tag and I could then see all of the feedback for that particular student. Super awesome. The other thing that you can do is you can set up triggers. So if you're using Notion or something like that, you can set up a trigger to send this to Notion, and it will send your feedback through to that. So that would be with your webhooks. So Do you currently write parent feedback after every lesson or only for some students? If you do write it, is it something that you enjoy doing? Let me know in the comments. Or is it one of those tasks that you know is important, but it just takes too much time? So really my prompt, and as I said, if you want it, drop a note in the chat and I'll share it with you. But I'm looking for a warm professional tone. I have a specific lesson summary, and when I made it, I actually took comments that I had written myself and gave a bunch of those comments into ChatGPT actually and asked it to craft me a prompt that was specific to my needs. Um, and I always, want to talk about what the student's doing well, what the student's practicing, and I always provide some at home suggested practice. So I also, do want it to sound like me. And so by using examples that I have written in my own tone and my own voice, it helps your AI be trained so that it will look and sound like you in the end. So when you're doing this, you don't want to include, obviously, you always want to review AI generated feedback. Sometimes, particularly if you've got students with Chinese names, it doesn't get the names and you have to fix the names in it. Make sure your tone really matches your tone and the tone of your teaching business, and keep your feedback clear and useful for parents. You can use the transcript as evidence. Obviously not. You don't want to just take that and make it something that you blindly copy. For me, the transcript gives me that raw material. My custom prompt gives me something that's usually pretty accurate. But I'm still that teacher making that final decision. So tools like this are especially helpful when you already have a strong lesson structure. And so if you're looking for ready to teach ESL lessons, placement tools, and curriculum that helps you teach more confidently with less prep, you can check out Florentis Learning. The link is in the description below. And you can also grab free lesson samples and try them with your students, including the free placement test. And if you want to see more practical workflows for online ESL teachers, things that save time without lowering lesson quality, then check out the video next about the Teacher Hub. Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you soon.